Surprise! Yes, yes, it is I, Mr. Cinema Junkie, in beautiful Texas, making this video specifically to enter Scotty's contest. Scotty, aka Williemark1, has got a hell of a contest going on, and how could I miss this? There's no way I could miss this. Um, and he was kind enough to allow text comments because I guess he wanted everybody to participate. There's no way I couldn't participate. So I'm taking a little extra effort and making the video, and I'll try to upload it. I'm gonna have to steal some Wi-Fi to do it, but that's okay. But he wants us to name off our top 10 sickest films, top 10 favorite sickest films. Um, that list is varied and very wide, so try to narrow it down as best as I can and see how it goes. These are in no order, no particular order, so just so you know, I'm not doing it from least to greatest or anything like that. But first off, I choose The Girl Next Door. Now, this is not what I would call a very extreme movie, but the concept behind it is rather twisted. It's based on a true story. Girl is tortured by her aunt, tortured to death basically, and tortured by the neighborhood kids as well. They make a game out of it, sort of. It's just very bizarre, very harsh. It was one of those movies that it really invoked a lot of anger in me at the end of the movie, just thinking that something like that was allowed to happen. Yeah, so that's my first pick. Second one, surprise, surprise, a Serbian film. Now, I know a lot of people are going to pick a Serbian film. Just about everybody who enters here, I would say at least 90 to 95% of the people who enter this contest, they're going to pick a Serbian film. But why not? I mean, it is a sick movie. And I thought it was a very well done sick movie. It wasn't just, some people seem to think that it's just violence for violence sake. I thought it had a very deep story to it. And there was some imagery in there that I had never seen in a movie before. So I give it mad props, and I think it was way over the top, and really, really shook me to the core when I first saw it. There was a scene at the end of a Serbian film where I thought, "Oh my God, are they gonna cross that line?" But they didn't do it. They stopped the movie at that point. But later on, I saw a movie that did cross that very line, and that is my next selection, August Underground's Mortem. It's one thing when you have infant sex. It's another thing when you have dead infant sex. They just really kind of really push that envelope. So, of course, all the other stuff in the movie gives it grounds to be picked as well. Next, I have to go with Angel's Melancholy. Now, even though I couldn't understand a goddamn word in that movie, just the imagery alone, it was kind of a slow burn for me, just because I didn't know what was going on. But then when it goes boom, it goes boom, and I mean it goes boom in a big way, and it doesn't pull any punches. It's just total nastiness, and you got scat, piss, puke, guys playing with this poor girl's colostomy hole. It's, yeah, pretty bizarre. Now, when it comes to the Vomit trilogy, and a lot of you know what I'm talking about when I say the Vomit trilogy, I'm hard pressed to pick one of them. I was almost tempted not to pick any of them, but after really thinking about it, I had to go with Regurgitated Sacrifice. I believe the imagery was a lot colder, a lot more bizarre, and they're all sick in a repulsive sort of way. But this one just kind of captured something that just really pushed that line just a little bit further than the other two. So Regurgitated Sacrifice is definitely on that list. Now, this one could go either way, but I'm going to add Life and Death of a Porno Gang to this list. Um, it's the other Serbian film. Some people call it that. As far as the imagery is concerned, I don't think it pushed as much as Serbian film did. A lot of people thought it was a better movie, and I think maybe in terms of cinematography and storyline, it might have been a better movie, but it didn't have that stark, dark imagery that Serbian film had. Not for me, anyway. But the subject matter and the things that happen in this movie are pretty twisted and pretty fucked up. Um, Next, I'll add Men Behind the Sun. Usually when these movies are based on like real accounts, true things, it kind of makes you think a little bit. The absolute sick and twisted nature of man in general. Men Behind the Sun had some notorious scenes in it. Um, Although some of the acting was pretty bad and some of the effects were pretty cheesy, knowing that some of the stuff very well took place kind of unnerves you a little bit. Uh, and also, it's notorious for having actually used an actual cadaver for the autopsy scene. Um, so that was, for its time, I'm sure it really pushed the limit quite a bit. But yeah, good propaganda film, Men Behind the Sun. I also had In a Glass Cage, which I saw for the first time back in the early 90s. I remember thinking that, just the subject of child killing was pretty much enough to make the list. Back then I thought that the kids that were in this movie did a hell of a job acting. They really pulled off the whole death scene pretty well. A lot of homoeroticism in it. But a great film. Definitely a great film. One to definitely own. But it does have a pretty strong subject matter. And Cannibal also makes that list. This is the German film that is based on the true story of a real-life cannibal who goes online and puts in an ad in a cannibal chat room for someone who wants to be eaten, and his ad is answered by someone who actually wants to experience being eaten. The scenes that come after that, after they meet and after they start getting into one another, are pretty strong, pretty harsh. Um, yeah, it's pretty out there, uh, but it's a great movie. Not for everybody, but a great movie. And last, but definitely not least, it's actually a prize in Scotty's collection, and it's Shogun Sadism 2, or Oxen Split Torture. It has a lot of gratuitous violence in it, and it's not all that shocking compared to a lot of other movies. I think what makes the list, though, what gets it to make the list, is not so much the things that you see in it, but the fact that the shogun that's in it, the samurai lord that's in it, is so disgustingly pleased with these forms of torture. He is just so beside himself with happiness when he gets to see these people maimed, hurt, and killed in all these completely heinous ways. So, yeah, that's why it makes the list, because of that. So, there you have it. My top 10 favorite sickest films. And good luck to everybody entering Scotty's contest. Scotty, awesome contest, man. Congratulations on the subs. And you definitely deserve quadruple what you got now, man. So, to everybody, good luck. and I'll be seeing everyone again real soon. Take care.